a man goes to his cave. I wrote that whole book on that. Men are from Mars. Men go to their caves. Now, there's millions of women who went, well, finally I make sense of it. It's not like he just doesn't love me and doesn't care about me, or he's unstable in his love. He just not in touch with his feelings right now. It's like there's a cloud in touch with his feelings, but he's not having any feelings. He's just blocking the sunshine. For women, when the cloud is blocking the sunshine, she has numbness, no feelings or negative feelings. For men, it's actually very healthy for him to disconnect from his emotional side to rebuild his testosterone. That's why men withdraw is primarily to rebuild their testosterone. But when women withdraw, it's usually because she's feeling, I can't trust you. I don't want to open up to you. I can't get what I need from you, so I have to do it myself. And so it's a sign of imbalance when a woman withdraws, or generally speaking, she's upset with her partner, so she doesn't open up to him. Well, a man, he doesn't open up to you at times when he needs to rebuild his testosterone. It has nothing to do with you, it has to do with just his stress levels of the day. As I explained, when men are feeling independent on my own, not needing you at all, not needing your love, not needing your reassurance, not needing your appreciation, we have to come back into ourselves and rebuild our testosterone by swinging over to our testosterone side, which is the independent side. Now, I know this doesn't, if people haven't heard all the understandings of my, understanding men need more testosterone, women need more estrogen, otherwise they're stressed out, this may not make sense. But the bottom line is men pull away in order to recover from the stress of the day. Women typically pull away when they feel overwhelmed, stressed. I can't get what I need from you. I withdraw from you. I don't want to talk to you. That's kind of like her punishment. Where I remember one time in the first year of my marriage with Bonnie, I came home and she wasn't talking at all.
Oh, no.
And I thought, I guess this is what happens in marriage. She stops talking to me. And then I thought, I like it. But she was punishing me. She was saying, you have to realize you've done something wrong. And so I'm not talking to you. So if that's her experience, then if I'm not talking to her, she thinks I'm saying she did something wrong. And what did she do wrong? So now she gives more. And then I keep pulling away because of my own stress of not feeling appreciated by her because she's resenting me. Then she thinks I'm a narcissist. Oh, he just thinks about himself. And the whole thing about narcissism is, if you break down narcissism, it's people who think about themselves first. And you look at those commercials for the airplanes, put on your mask first, then put on the mask of others. That's take care of yourself before you can take care of somebody else. And you take that to an extreme, that's narcissism, where they don't end up taking care of somebody else, okay? But a man takes care of himself, goes to his cave. It feels so good. If you don't let him know you need help, he won't come out of his cave. And so suddenly you think, oh, he's a narcissist. No, he's in a relationship with a woman who doesn't know how to ask for help, isn't emotionally available, and blames him because she thinks he's so selfish when he's not selfish at all. He just doesn't have a job to do where somebody will reward him with love. You have to learn to bring men out of their cave. And these are all arts of relationship. But if he's in his cave and watching TV and you're taking care of the kids and doing all this stuff, you think, oh, he's so selfish. He only cares about himself. I said, no, he's doing what he needs to find balance. And men are much better at that than women. Rather than judge him for it, realize, I need to start taking more me time and not resent him for it. And then you say, but I can't get me time because I have to do all these things. I go, no, you don't. You've got a guy over there that would help you if you just learned how to get your me time, which is my daughter's course, How to Get Your Me Time, which is learning how to ask for help, how to not overgive, how to set boundaries, how to ask for help in a way that motivates men. This is like, there's a whole art to relationships today. And men are not narcissistic as a general thing. I just hear it all the time. And when I actually meet the man, he's quite wonderful. I just see how the woman doesn't know how to use him. It's kind of like a software. You don't understand the software because it changed. If you look into history, what you'll see is that men were taught how to provide by culture. They taught us what women needed. And what did women need? They needed a man who was steady, not emotional, who would do his job and provide for the family. That was what they wanted. a selfless man who cared for his family. And that was a good thing. And women then appreciated him so much for that because they were pregnant and had babies. They needed someone to protect them in that way, provide for them in that way. And also culture didn't even allow them to do that. So they had to do that. So they made the best of it. And so when you depend on somebody for your money, for your food, for your livelihood, you appreciate them a lot. So women had so much love in their hearts that these men who knew their job was to be soldiers, policemen, workers, construction workers, down in the earth, dirty, dangerous, difficult jobs, we did it without complaining because we got so much love from women. And then when women were appreciating us, we were very kind and generous and sweet and loving to her. But we're also tough. That's being both masculine and feminine. It's femininity in women that brings out his softness. Otherwise, he's going to appear to be narcissistic if you expect him to be like a woman. And he's not, he's not there. And some men, the ones that, oh my gosh, are more on their female side, you might say they're more narcissistic because they get all demanding and whiny and complaining and all that stuff. It's because he's way on his female side. And what can you do about it? I mean, this is tough. This is happening all over the place. Is you can't change him. All you can do is change yourself. And when you change yourself and start becoming more feminine and doing the things that waken up your feminine side in your relationships, it pulls out the best in men and they come back to their masculine side. If there's a big fire, I could be sitting around the house watching TV, feeling not motivated because I'm rich and I have plenty of food and gaining weight. And then suddenly there's a fire, boom, I'm going to come alive because I'm needed. You see all these women that complain to me, I'm divorced and my husband, he never took care of himself. He was very passive. He didn't even, buy new clothes. He didn't work out and or read self-help books or anything. And so we now that we're divorced, he's reading John Gray. He's reading your books. He's got a new outfit. He got a haircut. He lost weight. He's exercising. He's come alive. And of course, she's mad at him. Why didn't he do that with me? And then, of course, deep inside, always underneath anger is fear that is there something wrong with me? And that brings her back to our deep feelings of unworthiness. All anger is just a defense reaction from we feel we're bad. And so why not me? What went wrong? And why does she feel that way? This unwarranted unworthiness, because she is worthy. She just doesn't know her mistakes in the relationships. Our relationships go down when people don't have the new skills because we've got this whole new software that we don't know how to use. The old-fashioned software for relationships doesn't work. And you got to go through this crazy learning curve. And thank goodness my books are there. The answers are there. You just have to read it and then you have to do what I say.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just want to ask you, John, so if I understand you correctly, just to kind of like put the fine point on this here, from your experience of many, many years, you think this focus that is out there in the world right now on emotionally unavailable men and narcissism are exaggerated, first of all, if I heard you.
Yes, yeah.
Dramatically
exaggerated based upon misinterpretation of men.
Okay. And also that if a woman has experienced instances where she keeps finding that the men she's dating or the men she's getting to know appear to be emotionally unavailable to her, this could be a really good time for some introspection in terms of how emotionally available she really is. And one way to experiment with that would be to be more sharing of feelings. Not like you said, the feelings like, where is this going on the first date? But feelings about, I'm excited about this, or this made me happy, or I had this experience and it brought me joy. And I call it kind of like a distinction between the resume or the factual stuff and the feeling stuff, the stuff that comes from the heart, where a man can see a little bit more into a woman in terms of who she is, what lights her up, what excites her, what makes her happy, or even what disappoints or frustrates her. Am I understanding this? I just want to
you summarize. I love your summaries. They're so good. And I would actually, for most women, I'd put emphasis on get in touch with what you're feeling that you don't reveal to other people. And that's usually what we don't reveal to other people or to ourselves is we try to avoid our negative emotions. So look at your lifestyle. If you overeat, or you have any kind of addictive behaviors, like addicted to complaining or addicted to eating, then those are dynamics that show you are avoiding what your feelings are deep down inside. And you can pretend, you can put a smile on your face, and you're just in complete denial of what's going on inside of you. And that makes you very unattractive to men. And it makes you also unable to appreciate men, because your feminine energy appreciates masculinity. Masculinity respects femininity. Heroes are people who respect those in need, those soft part of life. That's who you are. If you're not appreciating men in your life, if you're not trusting men, you're not in touch fully with your female side. That's what the female side is. It's the part of you that can love and appreciate those who can take care of you, which would be the masculine energy supports us. And if you're not feeling, I have people to support me, it's you have to work on your ability to be grateful is a good beginning. But see, the problem here is focusing just on the positive means for many people, you're going to deny even looking at the negative. But the only reason we need to focus on positive is because we have so much negative we're not looking at. Because when you actually process your negative emotions, you have suddenly an ocean of positive feeling, and that's called being in love. And then your buttons get pushed. It triggers these unresolved issues inside of us, our confusions about misinterpreting reality, believing lies and misinterpreting people and thinking they're wrong. All that stuff triggers negative emotions in us. We have to process our negative emotions and come back to love. And that is a big subject. This is why you read these books, exercise, the feeling letter exercise is something you have to do. And, I keep putting this out there because I know for many people who aren't traumatized in their childhood, just understanding the differences between men and women can go a long way. But today, basically because we're all so much more free and independent, these unresolved issues that usually stay unconscious are coming up. That's what's happening in the world today. When you have greater freedom to express yourself, which is what people are requiring today, then you behave like a child because the child could not fully express themselves. You look at somebody who becomes rich and famous, suddenly they start acting like a baby. They tear up their bedroom, the rock stars, they get so much love, make so much money, they go to their hotel room and they destroy everything. They have fights and arguments and entitlement. This is what's happening to people today as life gets better, and it is better in so many different ways. As we become more confident and capable as adults, then suddenly these feelings, we feel safe to be ourselves. And then everything, unlike feeling anything that you push down because you didn't feel safe to be yourself, starts to come up. And what that looks like is different emotions. And because we're not emotionally intelligent, when we're upset, we always think somebody outside of us is causing it when they're just a trigger to be in touch with our own inabilities to love. So this is why I say you got to practice these skills. You got to get your buttons pushed. You got to know how to process your feelings. You got to know how to treat the opposite sex, come back to your feminine side. But processing emotions, negative emotions, is one big part of finding your vulnerability in your feminine side.
So powerful.